Hello again all, it's Jay here, and today we're going to be doing another map and tactical position review, and today's map's going to be Maranovka. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the first type of tank we're going to do first is artillery, so we're going to actually have a look at about most common artillery positions are. Okay, so what colour should we use for this? Let's have a look, excuse. Well, we'll just use red like the last video. Okay, so, right, well, pretty simple really, there's nothing much to it. Depending on position of your team and the usual balls. If you've already got no defence down these lines here, then the two positions that you would like to take would be the likes of the woods on this side and also in this general region. Oops, yeah. Right? If you do actually have some form of line of defence there, then you will be safe in the likes of this area here and also this area. But the most common place when I play artillery, or used to play artillery properly, would be that area on that side. On this side, it'll be this area here, and also a bit there. It depends. If you're in a massive artillery like the Germans, then the best probably position to camp on this side would be here, and possibly here. If you're in small artillery like the French, some of the lower tier tanks, then this position's really good. You've got limited cover, but you've got an awesome arc of fire where you want to shoot. And then if you're in a really fast artillery and your team's doing really well pushing up the hill, then you could also sit on the hill up here. This is all depends about your team actually doing well and taking this hill. But I'd only suggest that if you're in a fast artillery, because as soon as you start going up that hill, you will start losing speed really quick. Okay, so that was artillery. Let's go and have a go at lights. Okay, so lights, we're going to use a lime green for this. Okay, so lights, really straightforward. Now, in low tier matches or in some tier 10 matches, I've noticed is some scouts will just literally YOLO across the middle. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you do want to do a YOLO spot, then you need to make sure that your team's ready and aware that you're going to YOLO spot. Now, the major problem with some YOLOs that do this is they don't tell the team that they're doing it. You rush out in the middle, you get absolutely wasted by the enemy team. Then they start bitching to the team, saying how much of a bunch of noobs you are, and crap like that. Now, although I don't really give a crap about what their opinion is, if you would have said, I'm going to YOLO spot, then most of the tanks would then get in position to support him. Okay? So that's the YOLO spot. So you just rush there or rush there. As simple as that. Now, another little sneaky way to go, depends if you're in the likes of a big light, like say like the likes of the AMXs, something that's got a little bit of punch. You can also go down here and hug the side of the mountain. Now, you need to try and do this undetected, otherwise if the enemy team knows you're coming, then of course they're just going to adapt to where about you're going to be coming out of. And you're not really going to be as effective as you would like to be. And it's the same again on the opposite side. Now, what you have to do is you can easily hug down this side here, but then you have to drive upwards and then pull back down around this little hill here because the water's too deep there. And it's the same again, you'd have to jump across and actually run across there. That part's the risky part. Another position where lights could go is actually go down here. And again, go down here. And now there is some form of bushes here, which if you've got awesome camo rating binocs and camo net, then you'll be able to do some fantastic spots on enemy vehicles here, and also any sort of heavy tanks or anything pushing up the hill there. Now, but that would really only work if you haven't been spotted. If you've been spotted, then you're just going to get wasted, unless you can hide in the bushes. Okay. Another position where light can go is up here, and then rush down. Oops. Rush down this line here, and the exact same again, rush down that line there. Let's think of all these lines, so we can make it a little bit easier for us. So yeah, rush down there, or rush down there. And what this allows you to do is spot the enemy tanks in this position, and also in this position here, which is great. And you can also spot some of the heavies also pushing up the hill. Now, that's really much the light perspective. I mean, I've seen some light push the heavy hill, but again, that's really for mediums and heavies, so I probably wouldn't suggest that. But going for this one here is probably going to be a good way. But you can pick and choose. You can have a rush down there, YOLO through the middle, push down there, or even push down there. It's your choice, whatever you feel like is the best. Okay, so let's do mediums. I'm going to use the colour pen for this one. Okay, mediums is pretty straightforward. You literally want to, if you're in a fast medium, that's most of them are, you want to push hill. The reason why is the quicker that you get to hill, the quicker you can actually do something. Now, I think the map I'm using is a old version of the map, which means it hasn't got this little bit of drop off here. Now, if you know in the new map from 9.1, there's actually a little groove there cut off, and there's a lot more cover as you're moving up here. So what that allows you to do is it allows you to actually push up the hill, get into cover, get some sniping going, or even push down that side there. But it purely just depends really on what's going on. If there's a lot of heavy tanks pushing up this hill or pushing down that little cutaway, then be very careful, because in mediums you mostly don't have armor. So it's not the best thing to do unless you've got backup. Okay, another position where mediums go, if you're in the likes of the leopard in the back chat, is also do what the lights do and push down it. Now I've seen a lot of failures of this, but I've seen a hell of a lot of success, especially from when good players do it. Not saying if you're a bad player you can't do it, but I've seen when good people do it, they execute it so well, they kick absolute ass. Okay, so mediums is pretty much that. You can either go take the low road or take the high road. I've seen some types of mediums like back chats, which normally isn't a good idea, is capping that tree line there, or even capping that tree line there, and get shots across each other. Now that's not normally the best thing, but you know, it can work. It just really depends on what's going on in the map. Okay, so let's do heavies next. It's nice and simple. Okay, so heavies again, really straightforward. We can either hold this line here, get some form of cover there, and do the same there, getting the tree line there, and behind the rocks. Now, that really only works if there's actually tanks going to hill. If there's no tanks going to hill, then you all sitting in that base is just useless, because you are just going to get flanked and destroyed. Okay, so the best place for heavies to go would take the back road here and actually drive straight up there. So you can either use the little cutaway there or go straight to the houses there and side scrape off. Same on the enemy side, so you can either take the low road or again take the high road and get behind sort of the cover there. Now, the reason why I take the back road is as soon as you spawn in on this map, I'd advise you to either, if you've got rapid to reverse, is to turn around and drive away, or go in reverse instantly. The reason why is, like I said, when they get a YOLO scout rushing through that middle, you'll be lit up like a Christmas tree. And what the problem with that is, their TDs and heavies will go, ooh, hello, and boom, you're getting engaged. I probably wouldn't suggest turning around, because if you do get spotted, you know, your arse is weaker than your front if you're in heavy, so, and TD, so be careful about that. So I would suggest instantly reversal from both sides and taking the road up. Okay, another position where heavies can go is, again, this little tree line here, and there's, well, pretty much that general area there. But if there's no tanks going to hill, it's just going to be a bloodbath. Now, say for instance you're number 2 and a 3, and you say mid-tier, so if you're in like a tier 9, but you don't want to go hill because you will get absolutely brittle, because you know there's like 5 tier 10s going to hill. Now, a really good strategically position is to actually sit behind these buildings here and side scrape off, and also sit there. The only problem about sitting there is that you can easily get spotted and destroyed. Again, the same here, sit in that general area and sit there. So what you can do then is you can actually form some form of defensive line there, and again some form of defensive line there to come from flankers. But don't forget, always check your 6 and always look at your minimap, because you don't know what the enemy team doing. They could be rushing through the middle, rushing down the side, or rushing in. It just all depends on what happens. Or again, another position you could actually sit is actually in these little ridge lines here and here. Now, the only time that you'd actually sit in them particular ridge lines is when the enemy's actually pushing down the hill, or there's a lot of tanks coming in, or you got nice side shots. Never stop in the open. Now, it's a problem on this map, especially when something gets spotted there. People tend just to stop and try and shoot. Most of them miss. Now, the problem with that is you just give them a massive advantage because they're still running away up the hill and use the wall to stop down that line. So really, I know I was saying on my videos, it depends what your teams do. If your team's being base campers, then set up defensive lines here, or even in the air. But remember, protect your artillery. Artillery is the key to victories in most games, especially in this map. This map's open. So what that means is if their artillery's detonating, your artillery's alive, you've got a massive advantage. That artillery, if you're lighting up targets for that artillery and you engage them targets, he's helping you out more than anyone else on your team. The reason why is, you know, you might have an E100 pushing down that hill, right, and you just lit him and tracked him. And artillery goes fine at him out and hits him and does 1,000 damage, does 500 damage. It's easier for you. It makes your life a lot easier. Although we all hate, well, not all of us, but I know I'm pretty angry with artillery, but I do play artillery sometimes. But when you've got it, man, it's like gold dust. You need to watch it. Purely because if that thing dies, you're at a disadvantage if theirs is still alive. If theirs is dead, you can play a little bit more relaxed. You can actually, you know, you don't have to hide behind a building if you can't get shot from. You know, where Archie could normally hit you, because they're dead, you don't have to go there, so you get in better positions. So just be wary about, you know, some islands. Look at your mini-map. Talk to your team. If your team doesn't want to talk to you, then they stay concentrated and try your best. That's all you can do. Okay, so we're going to do TDs. So let's have a look. And we're going to be using yellow for TDs. Okay, so TDs. Now, it's pretty simple, really. There's nothing much to talk about TDs. Now, like I was saying with TDs, when you always have to reverse with TDs, you want to push. Oops. Wrong one. You want to push to the tree, to the buildings here on the side, because you need to get behind cover. Because if they've got artillery or they've got heavy, so if they've got TDs, you need to get in cover fast. So you drive forward and get in some form of cover there. Okay? But be wary about your surroundings. Again, on this side, there's a lot of rocks you can be behind and a lot of trees you can hide behind. So again, rush down there, get in there. Now, another good position for TDs to sit is in the likes of this area here. And also, well, I could say here. That's not really going to be the best cover though. The reason why this side's going to be perfect because you can shoot down at any sort of lights coming down, any tanks coming that way. It's pretty much the same again in that area, but it's a little bit tougher because you're on high ground, but you haven't really got the best cover like the likes of that side does. Okay, well, another position where TDs can go, now this depends on if your team's pushing hill or pushing up, not pushing hill, is getting in the tree line just, oops, I thought that was a circle, my bad. Oh, no, I can make a square. Get in that area there. The reason why is you can then engage any tanks rushing down there or any tanks coming from the hill, which is perfect, and you've got a lot of cover, and you're also protecting your artillery if you've got one. On the opposite side again, same general area, sitting in that general area there, and you can engage anything coming down that hill, coming across, you know, all that good stuff. Now, if your team does start to fall on the hill, and you can't support them in any way possible, you want to start falling back, which means, again, like heavies would do, you need to set up a defensive line. Now, you could get in this little area here, or even there, or even there. The downside is you've got no one around you. It's probably a bad idea. Again, on this side, the side I'd suggest is getting behind these buildings and getting that tree line there, and even that one, or even that one there. Them two are quite forward, but it all depends if you've actually got backup. If you've got no backup, then drop back to these last two lines. If it still starts to fall and you've still got time to move, you need to get your ass down there. That's your final defence line. Okay? On this side, similar again. That's a quite forward position, and so is that general area there. But again, if your team starts to fall, you need to pull back to the second defence line, which would be the likes of, this area. And again, if all shit hits the fan, you either fall back again and gets down to these defensive positions. It's all down to what happens. So what you can do is you can have like checkpoints. So you can go straight from E8, 9, and 0, straight down to F8, 9, and 0, then pull back to G8, 9. And make sure you're pinging the map. Now, don't be one of them people which pings the map continuously, but you need to let your other team know, because most people know not to look at their map, which is stupid. So you need to let your team know what's going on. And also, when you do camp at this particular ridge line, you need to be not focused, so you need to be wary about that side there, because if any tanks push up that side and they've got good thunder pressure, they're going to be able to shoot you right in the backside. So just be wary of that. Okay, so that is pretty much Malinovka in a nutshell. Now, I was using the old map template, but the only things that really changed was the likes of this area. That's the major change. There's also some more cover there, so you can visualise. But this is none of this area. I've already highlighted this change. Okay, guys, so yeah, that's it for Malinovka. If you did like this video, you know the usual stuff, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But also suggest what map or what tank you want me to view next, and I'll do it. If I've got it, that is, or if the map's plausible, or I haven't done it already. But if you go to the World of Tanks playlist on my channel, there's plenty of World of Tanks videos there. But also, if you head over to fancyclan.com, there is World of Tanks guides there in text, but there's also all my map videos are also there. And also, you can join us if you want. You just click the apply here button, you can join Fancy and be fancy. Why not? So guys, thanks for watching this video. This is Jay signing out, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.